Canada is that way. The border is that way.
You're violating federal orders right now. You are not wanted in our city. You're not wanted in our neighborhood. I don't understand how you could think this way, man. You're scaring the children.
I've sent a letter to Kristi Noem and to the Department of Homeland Security leadership asking them to pause all of their federal agent operations for the entirety of the Halloween weekend. Give the children and the families of Illinois a break.
That is, of course, Illinois Governor JB Pritzker begging the government to just take one day off the brutality and the repression so that kids could have their Halloween. And the reason he had to do that is because, as you saw in that video, Border Patrol agents had disrupted and deployed tear gas at a gathering of kids that were going to be doing a Halloween parade earlier this week. So he's hoping maybe if he asks nicely, they'll let us live our goddamn lives for one day. But I don't know how optimistic I am, Cenk. What do you think?
Yeah, so I remember when Trump was running and he said, look, the main thing I want to do with ICE is scare the living crap out of American kids. Okay, to be fair to him, maybe he thinks this will add to Halloween. You like trick or treat? I'll send actual masked men to come and kidnap people in your neighborhood and throw smoke bombs, and trick or treat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got a poll on this that I want to tell you about in a second, and I want to give you the details of how they're coming after our Halloween at this point, and then I want to talk about what terrors they're going to have for Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, jeez. Well, he again asked very nicely. Why don't we jump to our third video so we can get the actual response from Kristi Noem about JB Pritzker's request there.
Do you have any plans to alter activity tomorrow on that day?
No, we're going to be out on the streets in full force and increase our activities to make sure kids are safe. Every day in Chicago, we're arresting murderers, child pedophiles, those who have perpetuated assault and pornography against children. We're going to be out there to make sure that they can be safe, enjoy the holidays, spend some time with their families and their neighbors and their communities, and they don't have to be the victim of a crime because of these illegal aliens that are in our country victimizing them.
Yeah, so very Orwellian there. They're specifically saying we're being brutalized. Your Border Patrol and ICE are doing this, and she's like, no, we're going to keep doing it, and then the immigrants won't get you or whatever. And I don't know that I was ever optimistic that anyone in the Trump administration would have been okay with JB Pritzker's request, but I thought at least with Kristi Noem, she's such a fan of putting on costumes. I thought she'd be more of a pro-Halloween sort of person, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, no, she did once for fun. She had someone dressed as a dog, and then she shot him in a. Okay, I'm kidding. No one dresses a dog. She shot an actual dog, which is actually true.
Dark humor,
right? Jesus. Anyways, so look, I get it. You thought that this thing of like scaring everyone to no end at every time. Oh, we're picking up murderers and child pedophiles. Yeah, but when you did that in the beginning, and you actually did. Right, your numbers were really high, and that's what the American people did vote for. Now, we know you got those guys already. We know you're not going after them anymore. We know you're going after, yes, people who are undocumented, generally speaking, but that have been here for 20, 30 years. You're like getting them out of their workplace and their homes, etc. And on top of that, you're also arresting a bunch of American citizens by accident because they're Latino. And so, we covered this earlier in the week in Chicago. Yeah, the ICE is throwing tear gas in neighborhoods. Yeah, they dragged out a 67-year-old American guy, kicked the crap out of him, broke 6 of his ribs.
Jesus.
So, and why are they doing this to Chicago? Because Illinois and Chicago would not allow Trump to bring in the National Guard. Anyone to bring in the National Guard, they wouldn't let him to touch you. I'm going to punish Chicago. No, Chicago is an American city. You're not supposed to punish the city and its American inhabitants. You were supposed to get the criminals, which again, we're fair show in America. In the beginning, they did get the criminals, and that's why his polling on immigration was really high. And now when he's doing these weirdo tactics against American neighborhoods on Halloween, his polling is now very low. And earlier in the show, we talked about how he's down minus 19 on his approval number. That is a disastrous number. And so like, what's he gonna do next with other beloved American holidays? Like, all right, now I remember Sarah Palin with the murder of the turkey in the background. Like they're supposed to pardon a turkey, and she was behind like a turkey grinder where they would take live turkeys and put them in the grinder, and then the turkey's like, ah! I don't know if Trump's gonna do some ISIS version of that. I don't know.
Oh my God.
And at Christmas, please, Santa is documented. Yes, he's from the North Pole. He's not from here. He's not technically an American. Please do not grab Santa or his elves or his reindeer, okay? There's a caravan coming in. We found the caravan, okay? Then they have this tracking thing with the red bulbous thing going off the whole time. All right, anyways. Guys, come on, how is this protecting America? You know it's not protecting America. All right, and we asked this question on TYT.com, combining a bunch of our stories from today. Which of these headlines is the scariest? Makes sense for Halloween. A, Newsmax host says SNAP recipients are getting their nails done. B, Trump orders nuclear weapons testing for the first time since 1992. That one seems to be winning.
Yeah.
Meta's chief censor boasts about banning political opinions. We're gonna get to that later in the program. But of course, only political opinions against Nicaragua, right? No, Israel. What a coincidence, it's Israel again. And D, Noem ramping up ICE presence on Halloween. You know what? We do this whole scary story about the ICE in Halloween, and it's only at like 5% or something. Just because they're gonna launch nukes. You guys are scared more by that? All right, well, we're still laughing for now.
Yeah.
But by the way, last thing is, in Chicago, they're not laughing. If you don't live in Chicago, you don't realize what's happening there. But I'm getting reports from Chicago. ICE is terrorizing the whole city. They're everywhere. They're constantly doing raids. Everybody's worried. They now have whistles. So when you see ICE, they whistle. So you know that something is coming down the street at you. This is not how our government is supposed to terrorize us. Again, guys, if they were doing things in an open way, no masks, you got the badge, they're American law enforcement, and they got a bad guy, no one's against that. We're against this kind of weirdo Gestapo tactics.
Yeah.
I get that 20% of the country or whatever is like ecstatic about this, but the rest of us hate it.
Yeah.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.